and go live.
It's another bang. All the Muslim cars now, with your bag it up. Light up my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flicks me a bag it up. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.
Good evening. Welcome to iBoxingHub. I go by the name of BNG, featuring yours truly, Trey. What's good?
Yes, cuz bit of a difficult evening for myself. Man United, didn't get the most important win, so I'm a bit gutted. I can't lie to you, but the great thing about sports, obviously, Ade did mention it. You are sort of emotionally involved, but the good thing is we've got boxing, and we've got some exciting fights to talk about. I'm just excited to round up, the week. But before we sort of go live, cuz, just wanted to say thank you so much to the viewers for just subscribing to the channel. Bukayo Saka is saying Onana and Bruno. Look, it was a good performance from Bruno, and I'm sure Bukayo Saka's happy because I think Arsenal are smashing whoever they're playing right now. So it's 4-0. But cuz, enough love to the subscribers, enough love to the viewers, and thank you for your continued support. Your support allows us to grow and to give you tremendous content. And I'm just honored to talk boxing with my my cousin and just have a little catch up for everyone.
Yes. So just want to quickly touch up on the Conor Ben situation. What's going on? So I'm hearing that the fight might not happen, or it could happen, but the British Border Control are not looking to, sanction that fight. So is it a bad thing? Okay, all right, I'll tell you about my point. What I'm trying to say is just like, I know he's failed. So 2 of his tests come back positive, right? Investigations are still going on, but he fought in another country about 2 months ago. So I'm assuming he is okay to fight, but maybe just not in the UK. Or can he fight in the UK, but under a different board?
Cuz it's a very, very good point. I can't even lie to you. And big up Tony Ellis. Thank you so much for just joining us on the channel. He's obviously saying, can he still fight in the UK without the British Board of Control? Obviously not. They're going to sanction fights in the country, so I believe it would happen in another country. So we saw Conor Ben without the license fight in America, so I think he would still be allowed to fight in America. And cuz, look, I'm just going to say this point, live. I generally think that Conor Ben not fighting Eubank, it's a good situation. It allows Conor Ben to maybe focus on getting his license and maybe focus on being a dominant 147 fighter. I think he's very talented. I think there's a massive future ahead of him. He's young, and look, there's some big fights for him at 147. I saw him calling out, Bout, which to some is maybe a bit too soon, but he can build himself to that. There's potential fights, cuz. And big up Al Heyman, always doing a tremendous job in the cameras. That only means one thing: Saudi. Cuz, can it be a situation where the Saudis, get this fight?
I don't know. Riyadh season, does it end in March?
Guys, get involved in the discussions. Does Riyadh season end in March?
Not even that. It's a weird one, but are they big enough to fight in Saudi? No disrespect to them at all, but I'm just trying to say, it's just like when you look at the likes of Fury, Usyk, AJ Wilder, commercially they're bigger. Do you know what I mean? Not even that. I remember when Derek Chisora and David Haye, they fought. Didn't they fight here in West Ham? But it wasn't under the British Border Control.
Oh, yeah, you are right. Yeah, that's actually a very, very good
that's
point.
What I'm a bit like, am I right in saying the fight can still happen here in the UK?
Maybe, because that was at a football sort of ground. You know, the talks is for it to be at the, you know, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah.
So that fight at that stadium, you know, makes sense. And I've said it. Look, I have a mate who supports Spurs, you know, Mitch Andrew, and he knows. I've said to him a few times, boxing for Spurs, this stadium is amazing. I've been to a few of the fights, especially, you know, Joshua Usyk. That was a good atmosphere. Chisora versus Fury. So look, they can do it.
Ooh. But that's the thing, though. Would they want to be a co-main event? Well,
I think this is the main event. This is for rivals, cause I don't think an event like that. Even though I'm for senior, I can't lie, cause I think it makes more sense from a boxing perspective for him to fight Harlem in terms of the weight. You guys obviously know my thoughts. We've got a WhatsApp group, and Rico, Ra, Aisha, you know, yourself, Al Heyman. You guys know my thoughts when it comes down to the weight divisions. I think him jumping up 3 weight divisions, you know, at this stage in his career might be a bit of a hindrance, maybe in his career, because we don't know what's going to happen in that fight. That fight could potentially, you know, be a, you know, career-defining one. Who knows? But if it happens, let it happens. But it needs to happen under the good circumstances. So Ben needs to have his license, and we need to have, you know, the proper promotion. We need to have. I would love to have Adam Smith in the commentary, like, because we know we love Adam Smith. I would love to just get him involved in that some way, somehow. So it'll be tremendous. And big up, obviously, Tony Ellis. He's saying if Wilder can be in the undercard, surely Ben and Eubank can. Surely. That's what Tony is saying.
The thing is, Wilder, he's
Money
getting
talk.
paid.
Money talk.
Money does talk, but I don't know. I just feel that by them being in the undercard, it's just like, I don't know, man. I feel it'll be better if they do the main event, because this is like, it's a big fight. Conor Ben and Chris Eubank in the UK, of course. Do you know what I mean? But if they were to go in Saudi and do an undercard, it won't be the same. Do you know what I mean? It won't be the same, because everybody will be, you know, the main event, they'll steal the spotlight. It won't be the same. Even though, don't get me wrong, this 23rd, I am looking forward to the event. I'm really looking forward to Baby Miller and Triple D fight. That's the fight I really want to see. It can go either way. It can go either way. But I just hope. Look, I just hope Conor Ben can sort his situation. And also, I'm just wishing that fight can actually happen here. But then again, if it does go ahead and it's happening on the 3rd of February, ain't they clashing with Boxer? Ain't Aziz and Bout fighting on the same day at Wembley Arena?
That's what I'm saying, because I just it seems like there's a bit of a back and forth between Eddie and Ben Shalom, but it's just one of them ones. It's one of them ones.
Yeah, nah, I get it, but it's just like, dude, like Ben Eubank, it's a big fight. It's a huge fight. And Aziz and Bout, it's a South London fight, which is happening in North London. I don't know why, but yeah, you know, so it's just mad.
Yeah, look, Tony Ellis is saying, I think that's done on purpose. Yeah, look, it could be.
No, I know it happens. It's competition, well, healthy competition, but dude, it's just. But again, it affects the ticket sales, the TV views. Dude, this is bad, man. Again, I understand, but it's just like, I don't know. Yeah,
it's a bit of a crazy situation, but look, it's boxing. We know there's a lot of politics behind it. Look, Aisha, massive shout out to Aisha. Guys, check out her channel, check out her show, on this channel. She's obviously got a tremendous interview on her show, which is Green Diamond Boxing. So guys, make sure you tune in Monday 7:30. So yeah, that's our sister Aisha. But let's talk, man. Natasha Jonas versus Michaela Mayer. It's looking like a tasty affair. We obviously had the today. What's your thoughts? Let's hear it.
Do you know what? I think it's a tough fight for both of them. Yeah, it's a homecoming for Natasha, but Michaela is a serious opponent. It could go either way. That's just my honest opinion. It can go either way. This one, I'm sitting on the fence. I usually, with me, you know me, I usually back the underdog, but when I'm not too sure, you know, I'm sitting on the fence. But yeah, it can go either way. But one point that Michaela did make was that you know, with female boxing, it's now growing, and you know, times are changing now, and rather than doing a 2-minute round, they should move it up to 3-minute round. Now, I don't know if they're going to do it straight away, but it'll be nice just to see. I mean, with female boxing, it's a 10-rounder, isn't it? It's not a 12-rounder, is it?
Yeah.
10-rounder, right? Yeah. So it will be interesting just to see if they were to do 3-minute and if it was to be a 12-rounder, just to see how, you know, who really wants it.
You know what, cuz, 100% agree with you, and big up to Al Heyman. He's reminding us. So, guys, if you haven't seen the interview with Miss GB, Natasha Jonas, Chelsea blessed the channel. I'm not even going to lie to you, with some knowledge, some really good advice for the next generation. So, yeah, we're massive fans, and it's going to be a tough fight. But I'm just happy she got her homecoming. I think she genuinely does, you know, deserve it. And Aisha's obviously asked a really, really good question here, which is, do you think it should be 3-minute rounds? Me personally, I agree it should be, because I think the Chantel Cameron and Katie Taylor fight would be very different if it's 3 rounds. I think a lot of the fights are going to be very different. Obviously, Tony Ellis disagrees. I just feel that because the women, they're so hungry to, you know, prove that, you know, they are incredible warriors as well. And I genuinely feel that if they feel that they can do it, why not give them an opportunity to do it, especially if they feel that they've got a lot more in the tank. Like I do remember Michaela Mayer just also saying that, you know, if she had more rounds, then she can demonstrate more boxing ability in the ring, because she has more rounds, more minutes, in the ring, as opposed to the rounds is maybe questionable, but maybe give them 3 minutes, 10 rounds, 3 minutes. Let's just see how it goes. Trial it.
Because I think 2 minutes, it goes too quick. It goes too quick. Like you said, that look, okay, you see the fight that just happened on the weekend, Katie Taylor and Chantel Cameron. If that was a 3-rounder, do you think the results would have been the same or different?
Oh, in terms of the minutes. So if it's like 3 minutes, for example, around, yeah, it would be a different result, because if you're fighting, like, we're not going to name fighters, but if a lighter fighter is fighting a heavier fighter, they can survive, you know, easier in 2 minutes than maybe 3 minutes. Yeah. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So I definitely feel that if that fight was to go maybe 3 minutes around as opposed to the 2, I think it could be definitely a different result. I think you just look at some of the fights that we've seen over the past few years, the development of the women's sport right now in boxing is tremendous. So we're seeing some tremendous athletes. So these athletes are not having time to demonstrate their ability in 2 minutes, 10 rounds. It goes fast. There's a difference between 24 minutes as opposed to maybe 36 minutes. That's a huge difference, guys.
If anything, they should just increase. If they can't do a 3 minute, they should just increase the rounds to 12 rounds.
Yeah.
I think it's fair that way.
I think it would be fair. And look, Bukayo Saka says, sorry for being active in the comments. I'm watching the game at the same time. Look, Saka, this is the energy that we're creating regardless. Look, win, lose or draw, I'm here. I've got my Man United top. I'm wearing it. I just finished watching the game. So that's how it is. So it's 5-0. Obviously, we're getting a live update from Al Heyman. So Al Heyman's confirming for the Arsenal fans that is 5-0 Champions League, so that's a big result. Aisha's obviously got a good point here as well. She's saying, personally, as a woman and as a boxing fan, I don't think so she's saying, I don't think the rounds would be 3 minutes, 12 rounds. It should be 2 minutes rounds for 12. Yeah, you know what? I definitely agree with you, Aisha. I definitely agree with you. What do you think?
So we don't need to be like men. No, fair enough. Okay, 2 minutes, 12 rounds.
It's fair. No, I'm not gonna lie. It's fair. Look, she's making a good comment here because she's a boxing fan as well. She does the training, so look, we have to take her points, really seriously here because, but I just generally think that they can do it. Just let's trial it at least, cuz let's trial it.
But didn't sorry, a 3 minute. What's her name? Serrano. She fought for 3 minutes. Her last fight.
Was it?
I'm sure it's 3 minutes. Yes.
I'm sure.
First ever. I think. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
If it's happened, cuz I genuinely think it needs to happen more. I think on the global stage they need to trial it more because I definitely feel that the 2 minutes for each round for 10 rounds, it's not enough, man. I think having 3 minutes per round, I think that makes sense for women's boxing, especially some of the athletes that we're seeing coming out the sport. You're thinking about Clarissa Shields, you're thinking about, Maya, who's fighting, Miss GB, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron. Imagine all those fighters just having just an extra minute. Yeah, look, it's confirmation from Al Heyman. It was 12 3-minute rounds. Because if it's happening, why is the sport not trialing it on a global stage? Just do it more. Let's have it. Generally speaking, I think they should have it.
Yeah. Well, Ryan Garcia is fighting this weekend. Yeah, he's gonna win. That's what I'm gonna say. He's gonna win.
Why are you saying it like that, guys? No, come on, you gotta give Oscar Duarte a bit of respect. Look, I'll give him respect. He lost his first fight, and since then he hasn't lost. He's just lost one fight, and since then he's gone on a crazy run. There's rumors of him being a KO artist. Look, Kai is saying I think it's going to be really close because this is going to be his homecoming at that weight, I believe, 140. So he's a big guy.
Yeah.
Garcia is a big guy, and I
Garcia's only lost once as well, So I'm ruining Garcia. He's a knockout artist, so it's power v speed in it. So I think Garcia is gonna beat him. I think he's gonna. Yeah, but Garcia's gonna beat him. I don't know what round, but he's gonna beat him. Like I said, speed vs power. Garcia made a valid point the other day. He was saying they're talking about Tank. If you're a rematch Tank, he said it was something along the lines where it'll pretty much have to be on his terms, because if Tank wants to fight, he's coming up to 140, right? He made a valid point. He said, I fought Tank, right? Okay, he beat me, but he didn't hurt me. And also, if it weren't for me, he wouldn't have generated that money he made. I think it was 20 or 30 million. And he goes, in terms of pay-per-view buys, he doesn't do that much because he fought me. That's why he done that much. I mean,
that's a bit common. Cuz come on, Tank. He's going
by what Brian said.
We have to Google, we just have to Google Tank's numbers, pay-per-views, back to back to back to back. I do agree with Ryan Garcia. It takes two to tango, so both worlds had to, collide for it to create that explosion in terms of the numbers, etc. But in terms of pay-per-view, Tank, he's just underneath Canelo in terms of being the face of boxing. I know Crawford just won, but he just entered that sphere. Tank's been, doing it from, for a minute now. Remember, Mayweather's had a very integral part in his career, and in a way, they've done the rounds, man. Tank's come over to the UK, so he's got a UK fan base. He's just, you know, around the corner, just here in Stratford, you know, walking around in Westfield, meeting the fans, etc. So in terms of a global presence in boxing, he's been doing the numbers for a minute. So that comment from Ryan Garcia, I do like him. I do respect him, you know, as a warrior. But you got to put some respect on Tank, man. Tank is the man.
Silly question. Commercially, who's bigger, Ryan Garcia or Tank?
There's two different commercials, cuz I'm not gonna lie. From a boxing commercial perspective, Tank mile away. But when you're talking about the Gen Z social media world, Ryan Garcia has obviously made a name for himself. And look, I don't knock anyone that's doing that, but in the ring, we know through our eyes, through what we see, Tank has been putting in the work. He's been fighting whoever's been put in front of him, and he's been putting in tremendous performances, cuz, man. Like, let's think about the Mario Barrios fight. El Azteca fought him at 140, come up in weight, and the way he won as well. And remember, cuz, some people come to see Tank to do the backflip after the fight. Like, what athlete is doing that? I'm seeing guys do backflips from like a standing position, but actually going on the top rope and busting a backflip. Cuz, hey, that's some Rey Mysterio stuff. Cuz we've watched WWE that for years, so he's an athlete, a tremendous athlete. But obviously, the guy is saying Garcia is bigger than Davis. But from a Gen Z commercial aspect, social media world, I agree. But from the boxing world, nah, I disagree. Tank's a mile away. Ooh, is Jake Paul bigger than Tank?
Social media wise.
Social media, of course, you would say.
But in terms of boxing star, nah, Tank.
Tank's the face of boxing. If it's not Canelo, you can also argue is Tank as well. But Canelo, in terms of him being undisputed, etc., pay-per-view, come on, like just pay-per-view numbers as well. We also have to look at those as well. And Tank has been doing the numbers because I know you've had a few days to sort of settle in this. We've had back and forths in the group, you know, about you know, the El Monstro, David Benavidez. I can't lie, because I've watched the fight a few times, and yeah, we've got to put some respect on it. We have to put some respect in it. And big up Daryl. Daryl must be excited right now. He's excited. I think he's got the game on the side, and he's watching this Arsenal flying, so he can get involved. So Daryl's obviously mentioning, thank you so much for joining us. Nail on the head there, Trey. Two different worlds of popularity. Look, I agree. It's two different worlds, but us in the boxing world, we know Tank is up there.
So I'm hearing in the new year, you've got Pacquiao. He might be fighting Josh Taylor. And what's your thoughts on that? And what's the point? I'm not being rude enough in here, but Josh Taylor just lost to Fimo Lopez.
The takeover,
and he's getting another opportunity. I just think it's disrespectful. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against the guy, but I just think it's just mad. Why not get Pacquiao fight Lopez?
Oh yeah, you know what? I didn't actually think about it like that. When you first sort of announced the news, I was kind of thinking about it from a perspective of it's good for Josh Taylor. You know, he's just lost against the takeover. It's an introduction, I'm guessing, to 147 maybe. Manny is linked to fight with everyone. It's what Al Heyman is saying. I just think a lot of things, cuz it would have made sense for him to fight the takeover, but is he fighting the takeover for his belts? Is this going to be a professional fight? Is this an exhibition?
Yeah, no. I believe it's a professional fight. Yeah.
Did he not retire? Did he not retire?
Well, my understanding, he's coming back. So,
wow.
You know.
Wow.
So
He's still got fight in him.
I just think this is where I think that, you know, they're taking the mick, because the takeover, he wants to fight somebody, but then at the same time, you know, he's demanding a lot of money. But I understand, you know, obviously he knows his value.
Why not? It's the takeover, cuz.
Yeah, you should just, like I said, you should take Lopez fight Pacquiao. Pacquiao's coming back, or Lopez should just fight the winner of Haney and Progress.
Yeah, I think the Haney and Progress one, it makes sense because it's at 140. I think that just makes sense. I think that is the fight that needs to happen next. There's a bit of history between, you know, Haney and the Takeover, you know, the back and forth.
Yeah.
Guys at 135, they should have fight. Obviously, the fight didn't happen. So, Al Heyman's saying, hey, no, like, let's not disrespect the Takeover. Don't disrespect the Takeover. Did you not see what the Takeover did to Josh Taylor? Like, for me, in my eyes, the Takeover is the undisputed champion. In my eyes, he's the undisputed champion. In my eyes, because he's beat the man who was the undisputed. Obviously, they didn't have all the belts at the time, but he, like, psychologically or mentally, as a fighter, if I've beaten the man that held all the belts, in my mind, I'm undisputed. So he has every right to be, you know, calling for certain networks to pay whatever. If you want me to fight, you know, just pay up. You gotta respect it, man.
Well, it just makes sense. Well, the winner of Haney and Progress should just challenge. Should fight Lopez next, and then in that way they will make decent amount of money because it'll be for the undisputed.
Yeah, look, Al Heyman's saying Haney beat the man that beat the man. He did at a low weight. This is 140. This is 140. The Takeover beat the man in that division, and you have to say Josh Taylor in that situation was. A lot of people would say it's Jack Catterall, but, you know, on paper, it's Josh Taylor in this situation. So it's exciting times, because, like, there's so many fights to look forward to. We've got, you know, so many different events that's going to happen. Because we've touched on Haney and Progress. Who do you think wins? Who you got as the winner in that fight?
Do you know what? Yeah, I've got Haney. Yeah. It's weird. You know, you should never judge a boxer from his last performance. It could just be a bad day in the office. Yeah, but just going by his performance, yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I think it's you know, it's a tough one. It can go. Okay, I would say Haney, or it can go to distance and be a draw. It can be that close. I don't know. I mean, look, I personally think no Progress. I even think yeah, he beat Josh Taylor, right? But obviously it was here in the UK, so Josh Taylor got the win. That's my opinion. That's what I think. But I'm just and because Haney made a valid point. He said, like, look, you're 34, I'm 24. So, you know, it's like what Haney's basically saying is, I'm the young cat, yeah, I'm fresh. You're 34, you're getting old, you know, you're no longer in your prime. So I thought, do you know what? He's got a valid point there.
Oh, look, Aisha is obviously saying Haney got to support my Muslim brother. Of course, I know, Aisha. Of course, I know. And look, I'm just gonna be that person. I just think, you know, Progress, we can't sleep on Progress. He's the champion. I personally just don't like how the fight's been promoted. It's obviously Haney, Progress, when Progress is the champion. And from my understanding, from boxing sense, you got to put the champion on the left. So it'll be interesting to see who walks out as well, because if Progress is coming out to the ring first and Haney second, we got to have some questions, cuz on the review of the fight the next day, because come on, he's the champion. Being a world champion is, you've got to put respect on that. It's not easy to do. It's not an easy thing to do, and it's not really a homecoming if he's challenging for a title. So I can't really call it homecoming.
But he even said that he's open to fight Tank at 135.
But you know what? I agree with you, but he said it in a very business-minded sense. If the money's right, then let's kind of do it. He's not saying, look, let's do it. Because I don't think, maybe if the money is presented to him at 135, yeah. But why not make that fight at 140? Let him stay at that weight. Tank can come up to 140. Tank's done it before. He's fought, Mario Barrios. So I definitely feel that that fight can happen at 140. If, Haney has issues coming down to 135, they can meet same place, 140. Let's have it.
Yeah. Nah, but I still reckon that they should have it at 135 for the belts. 135.
But we should have Tank versus Shakur for the belt, for the WBC.
Well, I reckon that should have been the fight that should have taken place. But you know already, man. When money,
you don't even need to.
It's just if anything, it's just long. If anything, Saudi should contact both of them and just take them to Saudi, and then that fight will happen.
Oh, look, this is a good question for you, cuz. So, how many divisions can Haney go up? Big up to Bukayo Saka. He must be so happy, Saka, right now. Arsenal are winning up.
Would you say 147 would be a bit too much for him?
I reckon all these guys are going to meet each other at 147. Tank, Shakur, Haney's going to be there. Ryan Garcia is going to be there. All these guys, I see them just moving up because that's
I have a question.
That's the golden division.
Tank, if he moves up to 147, you reckon he can beat Conor Benn?
Come on, cuz. No disrespect to the Destroyer, but skills pays the bills, and Tank is the guy. He's got the equalizer. Plus, he's very efficient in terms of him landing shots. He's not very wild with the shots that he's landing. He's a southpaw, and his work rate, he's an athlete. I think he will give him too much problems, man. I think Tank, outside of, Canelo, Crawford, some of the top pound-for-pound fighters, Tank's right up there in terms of his talent, his grit, his determination, his skill, him being a southpaw. He's got the ability to, and he's got the equalizer as well. Not many fighters have the equalizer. Not many fighters has it. Wilder, equalizer. Crawford, you could say he's got the equalizer. A lot of fighters have got the equalizer. Canelo, equalizer. El Monstro, equalizer.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, Haney said he's struggling to make weight. What, going down at 135?
Going down or at 140?
I think he's fine at 140. I think he was struggling at 135.
Yeah. Oh, 140. 140? Huh? He's just moved up to the weight.
I think he meant 135.
It must be 135, surely. Surely it must be 135, guys. Surely. Because he just moved up in weight because he can't be making that 135 weight. He said even 140 is hard for him. Mate, what's going on? What's going on? Some of the legends of the game, the amount of weight they've had to go down to make fights happen, and guys are complaining about certain weights.
Yeah, man. Listen, guys, it's the end of the show. We're back here again on Sunday at 7:30. We've got the RnR show, Recon Raw tomorrow evening, and we've got our sister Aisha on Monday, the Green Diamond show.
Boom.
Have a lovely, productive evening. Peace and love.
It's another bang. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. I start my scars with a sweet one bliss. Someone flicks me a bag by the end. So, it's another one, yeah.